All right, Jack Mitchell with the Ledger Dispatch. We are at American Legion Post 108 today. From till 12:30 today, they will be running a free car seat safety check. It's all about kids' safety. We caught up with the organizers today. American Legion Post 108, across from the Italian picnic grounds, today till 12:30. Check it out.
Well, today we're having a car seat event at the WIC site event at the American Legion Hall here in Jackson. And we're hoping to check 20 car seats today, mostly WIC clients, just to make sure that they're safe on the road. We got CHP here, we got people from Calaveras Public Health, Amador Public Health, we have volunteers, and then we all come here together just to make sure that the kids are safe on the road. Oh, it's free, absolutely. Takes about 45 minutes to go through a whole seat check. We make sure that the seat is in the car correctly, that the kid fits the car seat, that the car seat is correct for that type of car, because sometimes cars can't fit certain types of car seats because they're small. And we just make sure that the belts and everything are in the correct position, that it's been adjusted for the kid's height and weight. And the main thing is that if they're under 2 years old, that they're sitting in a rear-facing car seat, because that's the best seat for them. We do about 3 a year of these community events. We also run appointments throughout the year, mainly public health here in Amador and CHP. People can call and make an appointment, and we'll check their car seat almost any day. Well, if we can adjust it, we'll just adjust it and send them on their way, and they're a little bit safer on the road. If the car seat's expired or there's a recall on the car seat, we can let them know. If there's a financial need, we can offer them a free car seat to help them out. I'd say most of the time there's at least a couple things wrong with the car seat where we can just adjust it and they're good to go. It's nice sometimes when you see a car seat that's 100% correct, but there's so many different things that go with a car seat now, different ways to adjust them, that it can take a lot of knowledge and skill to get it 100% correct. People can come here whenever they want. No appointment needed. We got lots of extra workers here, so we can fit them in.
Majority of the time there's something subtle. Every once in a while it's something major. It can be anything from recalls to expired seats. It's always good to just have one of the technicians take a look. But when we're actually placing a car seat in a vehicle, we look for several things, from the size of the car seat, whether it's going to hit the front seat. Depending on how many kids are in the vehicle also is where the seat goes. You got to make sure it's safe for every passenger in the vehicle. And sometimes a lot of people will put them in the middle seat because they assume that that's the best place. A lot of times it is, but it just kind of, like I said, it depends on who's in the vehicle, what type of car seat you have, what position the car seat's going to be in, whether it's going to be a forward-facing or rear-facing or a booster. We ask a few questions as far as how many siblings, what other passengers are in the vehicle, we look at where the airbags are as well, make sure that either you can turn off the airbag in certain cases, or at least place the car seat where there's no airbag. This is all about the kids, making sure that they're safe, and one of the other bigger ones is also making sure that the parents or the guardians know how to install it safely each time. So there's different methods that you can use, whether it's the latch system or the seatbelt in the vehicle, but if the parent doesn't know how to install one of those, then it's pointless. And so our best thing is to make sure that the parent actually knows how to install it properly. So if it's guardians or grandparents that are watching them, a lot of times you want to make sure that they really know how to install them, because if we install them and we install it the right way, but then they don't do it the same, then it puts them in a bad spot. So there's a lot of basic things that we look for when we install car seats. We want to make sure we actually look at the model and look up if there's a recall on it. Make sure the manufacturer's date's good, that it's not expired. If we're installing this seat as a forward-facing seat. We want to make sure that if we're going to do a seatbelt system, that it goes through the actual proper loop for the car seat. Before we even get the kid in there, depending on the size of the kid, you also want to make sure that the harness is properly seated in here for the size of the kid on their shoulders. A lot of times parents come in and it's too low when it's a forward-facing kid. But when you look at the car seat, you want to look at a lot of things. If we're doing a middle seat on this kid, and you're looking at the type of restraint system that you have here, whether it's sliding, and then if you're able to lock the system, basically if you pull it all the way out, and then you hear the clicking, as long as it keeps locking, you put it in locking mode. This one doesn't actually lock, so no, it's fine. There's different ways to do it. Since this doesn't lock, you can actually get a clip that basically locks it and makes it almost like a regular lap belt, and it locks this in place, so when it feeds through, you can push down on the seat and lock it in right. But I mean, there's different things to look for. Sometimes if you have too big of a seat, a lot of times you have to put both kids on the sides. On the outer seats, usually that's a lock. You'll have a switchable retractor, so this one can lock. As you can tell, it's going in, and it keeps going in. When it is locked that way and you have that loop through there, once that goes all the way up and it starts to lock, it'll lock that bottom and it'll keep it nice and tight. That's one of the mistakes that we see, is this won't be in locking mode. They'll clip it in and it's just free, and you hit the brakes really hard, and there's nothing holding it back, and the whole seat goes forward or they flop to the side. So stuff like that we look for. And then just on the actual harness on the car seat, we want to make sure everything's nice and snug. A lot of times the belt clip, their chest clip is all the way down. If you can look up on NHTSA, there's videos, and they'll show why that needs to be at armpit level. Even just after one initial crash, it's designed to slow down the kiddo, and that belt clip will slowly go down. Well, if it's a multiple impact collision and that starts low, now their harness is going to start to open up, and then you fear the worst at that point. So, but that's kind of just a quick overview of what stuff we look for. So,
all right, now you know a little bit about car safety seat check. It's free. Make sure your kids are safe. We all want you to stay safe out there. Free event today up here at American Legion Post 108, across from the Italian picnic grounds off Highway 49. Be sure to stop by and stay safe. Thanks.